Sunnyvale, Cherries, and the Olson family. Since 1899, those three things have been linked together. And despite urban encroachment, development, and basically an entire city being built up around them, the link between these three doesn't look to be broken anytime soon. When your last name is Olson and you live in the South Bay, there really isn't a question about what you're destined to do in life. That was determined over a century before. Today, it's Deborah Olson who is the latest in her family to be involved in one of the last vestiges of agriculture in the area.
This is my father, Mr. Olson.
How are you? It's nice of you to come.
It all started back when her great-grandfather, Carl Olson, put down roots as a cherry farmer in the agriculturally rich area in the late 19th century. Next came his son Charles, who along with his wife Rose would change the look of the farm and ultimately the future of this farming family with one simple idea.
He put a little fruit stand, which was a tray on two sawhorses. And anyway, she saw it was a moneymaker, so she had him to build her a little fruit stand. That was 1933.
From that small fruit stand, the business blossomed. Their 5 acres quickly turned into 100, and life was, well, like a bowl of cherries. But as the business grew, the area around them began to change. Santa Clara County, once known as the Valley of the Heart's Delight, soon turned into the heart of the Silicon Valley. And as thousands of people moved in, it forced hundreds of farmers out. Back in 1999, farming all but vanished from this area in Sunnyvale. Development was everywhere, including here. And the Olsons were forced to give up their family home and most of their orchards. But there was one thing they refused to give up: their family farm stand.
And knew that there would be a day that this is all going to change, that we would have to develop it. And sure enough, that day came, and we had to because the trees were dying and we're no longer in an agricultural environment. This is a 16-acre parcel, and this area here was where my great-grandparents' home was. I always knew that I wanted to be in this business. I worked side by side with my grandmother Rose, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed being around customers, and of course, I love cherries.
Today, it's Deborah and her father Charlie who are continuing the family farming operation. Charlie runs the small but still productive cherry orchard, and Deborah runs the famous fruit stand with some even more famous fans. And despite the passage of time, the Olsons are determined to not let their family farm pass into time and be forgotten.
You're very welcome. We'll see you again then. Good. I love doing this, and I love cherries, and I love working with growers and agriculture. I love food.
She'd run it beautifully. She developed it beautifully. And she made it grow, but she works hard, very hard. She puts in all the hours it takes. If it takes 60, 70, 80 hours a week, she gives it that. And I don't think you could get that unless you were working for yourself.
Remembering how the Olson cherries was in the past, coming back year after year after year and saying the same thing: they're the best. That to me is, yes, this is what I want to give to people. That's why I always want them to remember, and I don't want them to ever be disappointed.
Educating folks about farming is just the latest effort by the Olsons to continue their century-long farming tradition. Like a chameleon, they have taken on many different identities over the years. From farm to fruit stand to mail order, the Olsons have reinvented themselves time and time again and managed to survive the test of time the only way they know how: with family and cherries.
Well, Debbie made it. I know it's going to be good. Beautiful. No, it's been a nice ride. It's been a lot of memories. It never was work. I mean, you know, it was a lot of hard work, but never was hard work because everybody worked together. I always knew I had somebody to count on.
He's my supporter, he's the farmer, he's my father, he's the bank, he's my everything. He's a good guy. I'm sorry, you got me.
He's a good guy.